Okay, pause right there. I have to interrupt immediately because this video is scuffed. So I'm going to interrupt a little bit throughout the video. I'm going to let past me go over the deck profile, but then I'm going to come in at the end and explain why it sucks, why I messed it up very, very bad. There's a couple cards I put in there that I was trying out, and I didn't swap them back out before I did the deck profile, and it showed very harshly. Also, I just struggle with spiders in general after trying to collect so many of them. But I'm going to let past me explain the deck, and then at the end I'm going to explain why I'm a big stupid idiot. So go ahead, like, subscribe, and enjoy this video.
Welcome back to the Elestrals realm. Today we are talking spiders, freaking spiders. I mess with this deck a lot, and I've had a lot of ups and downs with it. This is ultimately my most current and most weird version, and you'll see why because of some of the cards and the choices of amounts of cards. But let's just go right into it. And of course we're going to start immediately with just 3 of the base set Warmites. This card's very good. You can play it, target an Elestral, get -4 attack, so you're going to hit over almost any 1 cost and a lot of 2 costs. It's very good, and you can just keep targeting every turn. It's not on cast. It's just a effect it can use. So very solid spider. Then we have the other Warmite, Champion Vestia. Also very solid, but for different reasons. This one only shrinks by 3 attack. It's very similar to the first one, just 3 attack. But it's on receive, not just target whenever you want on your turn. But whenever it receives fire, it can shrink something by 3 attack. And also when Hestia's Hearth is played, which is a way it can receive fire, not only will it be shrinking something because it just received fire, but you can also heal 2 fire spirits just because Hestia's Hearth is played, which is pretty crazy. Then we have the Kite-Mite. Kite-Mite's pretty crazy. You can cast it, and then you can disenchant wind from it to special cast a Warmite or Frostmite, which, speaking of Frostmite, we are playing 1, which is part of the first part of the questionable numbers of each. Only playing 1 Frostmite because the Kite-Mite goes into it, and you don't necessarily always be running into things you need to knock defense over. At least you do and you don't. It's kind of up to you how you want to run it. If you want to run more Frostmite, you can definitely cut some of these other guys. But next we have 2 Parachne. Parachne says when Arachne's Lair is enchanted, you can normal cast it with 2 wind. It's basically like a Lith, but for the Spiders deck. Up next we have Florachne. Florachne is probably the most complex card in the deck. It says you can disenchant fire from your Hestia to search your deck for an Arachne's Lair and add it to your hand. During each end phase, an opponent must expend spirits equal to the number of Elestrals on their field if Arachne's Lair is enchanted. So ideally you get Arachne's Lair and Florachne on board, you're burning a little bit each turn. Not just your turn, but their turn, so twice, for each Elestral they have, and it also has a big defense that is kind of hard to get rid of. Next is the most questionable part of the deck, Pigleam. I have 2 Pigleam in here because I kept running into an issue with this deck where I could get a lot of spiders out, or I could get Parachne out or something, but if they played a big boss, I had 1 card to out it, and that's Laurels, which we'll get into in a minute. So Pigleam is in here to try and out really big dudes, and it works sometimes. I haven't really tested that much, and this is the most experimental part, so we'll see how it goes against my game against Bingo Bob's Hermes Voltempest deck. Next we just have Rabbits. Rabbits very good. When you cast it, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck and add 1 to your hand. Very good, just being able to get something you need. Going into the runes with the 3 Arachne's Lair, this says anytime a player casts Warmite, Frostmite, Kite-Mite, Florachne, Polarachne, or Parachne, that player must draw a card. So you play any of these spiders here, you're drawing a card. And then obviously if you have Parachne, you can normal cast it without having to ascend over it. And then if you have Florachne on board with Arachne's Lair, that also burns your opponent every turn. And what helps with that is another questionable part, which is 2 Hestia. I have 2 in here because I just cut Jolton out because I wanted to see if Florachne would be good enough to do searching. I don't know, I haven't really tested it, but you could definitely change these out for 2 Jolton, and then remove the Pigleam and put in Frostmite or something like that if you want to go more traditional spiders, or even Sorlet if you want to go that route as well. Then we have the basic counter runes, Omni runes kind of thing going on. We got the 3 Ambrosia, which heals you, the 3 Gorgon's Gaze, which stops an opponent's Elestral from throwing stuff, Shield to bounce Elestrals that attack back, and Poison Tipped Arrow to kill Elestrals on cast before they get out of hand, and the 1 resting on your Laurels, which will destroy your opponent's smallest enchanted Elestral if they have more spirits than you do. It's the only way to out big guys in this deck, but if your opponent, for whatever reason, don't know why they would, plays their big guy next to a little guy and you cast Laurels, it's going to destroy the little guy, not the big guy, and you're still screwed. And then 3 Hestia's Hearth, because combined with Hestia, and Warmite Champion of Hestia, it is insane because you can heal 2 fire and you can also put 2 fire onto Warmite because it is a Champion of Hestia. You can do the same thing to Floracne, but Warmite's going to let you do the healing, and then Warmite will also shrink Elestrals attacks when it receives fire, which is very cool. And then just into the spirits, we have 1 Frost for the Frostmite, 2 Solar for the 2 Pigleams, don't ask me why, I don't really know, 3 Thunder for the 3 Rabbits, oh yeah, I'm cooking, we have, what is this, 5 Winds for all of the Wind guys, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Fire. 9 Fire. This is the weirdest version of this deck I've built, but it is a version of all time. So we're going to see how it does against the Hermes and go from there.
Alright, let's get into why I am a big, dumb idiot. And it's because of a certain couple cards in this deck that I think are funny on paper, but not useful. And I've tested out this deck a lot. I've tried a few different versions. I've tried like full-on Hestia and putting in more Hestia cards, things like that. And I ultimately like just the rough, mostly spiders, and using a lot of back row to get rid of guys and spiders, take out the little ones before they can snowball into a big guy. But that doesn't always work because big guys get onto the board really quick now. So here's the thing, I threw in Pigleam because I was like, oh, at least this will give me an answer to like large guys besides Laurels. And like I said in the video, Laurels, if they have a small guy next to their big guy, which is smart, you're going to kill the small guy. And you can't attack then play Laurels because there's no main phase 2. So those were a little bit shoved in, and so were the Hestias. I didn't really build enough around Hestia, I just shoved them in. And yeah, and so the deck did exactly what you think. It did a little rough. Also, I was losing my mind here with the way I built it, and I felt stupid. Like I said, you could change out the amount of Frostmites, cut the Pigleams, cut the Hestias, put in Joltons, and you'll move just as easy. Probably easier, just sort of depends on the cards you see. And the best part about this deck is I played it. It didn't perform well against Bingle Bob's Zeus Voltempest, or Hermes Voltempest, which I'll explain in the next video. And the best part is, you can see, I have my blinged out spiders. I have a serialized Kitemite, a reverse stellar Warmite and Floracne, and even the promo stellar Warmite, the OG one. There's plenty of counter runes. There's a full art Paracne, full art Hestia. And you want to know the best part? I lost the deck. I don't know what happened to it. It was in an Elemental Heroes deck box, and I have not seen it for weeks. I don't know if I left it at one of my locals, or at someone's house, or if I lost it in the car, if I freaking threw it away. I have no idea what happened to it, but it's gone. I was going to trade my buddy a lot of the spiders, because he's obsessed with them, and I was done with them. And I lost the deck. It is gone. So this video is a current memorial for this deck, and also a please found is lost. So there we go. Apparently, oh, I did take the rabbits out. The Ash rabbits are out. At some point I took them out. And the serialized Kitemite is not lost because I was borrowing it while my friend was figuring out what to do with it. So I did give that back to him. But I did lose my reverses and my full arts and all of those counter runes. And that sucks. That really sucks. So yeah, so enjoy this battle. This is actually a successful battle, but the deck I built with Bingle Bob was also scuffed. So here's the battle. Enjoy. This has been me losing my mind about spiders. I actually went a little more tame than I was expecting. But yeah, this deck is not how I would have liked to build it, and I was not happy with it. But please indulge in this battle. Thanks. Alright, let's kick back and check out how the spiders did against Bingle Bob's Hermes Voltempest. Alright, after we get our decks shuffled and cut, I opt to go first. From what I can see... Okay. Oh, I'm keeping the hand. We're gonna just start off with a rabbit. Rabbits fits in any deck. It just really helps. Looks like I'm looking at a Warmite, Paracne, or Kitemite. Looks like I go for the Paracne to play it safe. I don't know if I have Arachne's Lair in hand or what, but I think that actually ends up coming back later to save me. We shall see. I'm only running 2 Parachnes, and there was a lower amount of them, so I think that's why I went for that one. Bingle Bob starting his turn. He's looking to play a Hermes, but he goes for Spine-Imp instead to try and bait out any back row that I don't have, or just to grab another. And he's deciding what to do. He doesn't know how to search his deck, which is classic Bingle Bob fashion. Gets his deck nice and shuffled. We're going to cut it and put all the bad cards on top, as I always do. And now he's doing big brain plays to decide which of the 2 Hermes... Okay, he's going to play both Hermes. He's going to put... He's going to put 4 on each. and he's gonna go for the first Hermes effect, disenchant 2 to send to the underworld a Dracodoodle, and then he's gonna do another 2 to do the Cockadoodle, which will activate the Dracodoodle's effect when a Cockadoodle is sent to the underworld from deck or field, board, I don't know what you call it. When it's sent to the underworld, you can play the Dracodoodle for free, or not for free, but you can play it from the underworld with 2 wind. And that is the exact strategy he's going for, because here comes the Dracodoodle, and you can see I am off to a rough start here. I don't know how this game turns around, but I suppose we're going to find out. He's looking at no back row going into combat, swings over with the Dracodoodle, and passes. And apparently I'm not liking what I see, but I set a card, and we go for a Kite Mite. And the Kite Mite's going to allow me to disenchant and cast a different spider from deck of my choosing. We're obviously going to go for... What am I going to go for, actually? I guess I didn't have regular Warmite in hand, or I just wanted to play the Kite Mite, I don't know. But this is going to allow us to hit over the Dracodoodle, essentially. The Kite Mite's a lot stronger if you have Arachne's Lair on field, because you can play Kite Mite, draw 1 card, and then disenchant, summon into a different spider, and draw another card. I'm guessing I didn't have Warmite in hand, otherwise I don't see why I would have done that. But it was safe to do since he had no back row. And he is going for another... Okay, he plays Cockadoodle, and then Ambrosia's off the Cockadoodle to activate Dracodoodle's effect again, and gets him onto board, which is really funny. Very well played. Until I just play another spider next turn, I am sure. But let's see what he does from here. He has the Dracodoodle back on board. I think he disenchanted 2 from Hermes, and he's choosing to send something to the underworld, trying to decide. I bet, yeah, he's going for the Spinosect effect. So he's going to go for the Spinosect effect. When you send it to the underworld, it allows you to nexus up to 2 winds. So he's going to pull 1 off of the Hermes and shove it onto the Spinif. Spinif has the effect to disenchant wind from itself to ascend 2 Spinosect from deck. So you just run 2 Spinosect to get into it. And I'm going to Gorgon's the Spinif after disenchant to avoid that effect, because I don't want to deal with 2 big guys. I already have 1 to deal with. And I think I was probably saving that Gorgon's for the Dracodoodle so I could just hit over it next turn, but you gotta do what you gotta do, because if the Spinosect hits the board, it's just going to bounce back an Elestral, and then I'm going to get hit for 4 because I have nothing else. He's trying to cast again after he already cast Cockadoodle and used Ambrosia off of it to play Dracodoodle. The guy thinks he's slick, and he's not. He's an ass. I'll give him that. Hits over with the Dracodoodle, and I take 1. He's trying to explain himself out of his misplay, and I did have the other Warmite. That's what I thought. So I don't know why I Kite Mited. I guess just because it was safer, because there was no back row for sure. Still don't know what I was thinking, really. Either way, we get the Warmite back on board and hit over with the Warmite, and he is going to play the Spinosect from hand naturally and go for ability to bounce back the Warmite anyways. That just returns to my hand, so he can just hit the board again next turn and then just hit over the Spinosect, which is, I think, what will happen. We're going to draw for turn. I'm going to set a card, and we are going to go back into the Warmite, go effect, and hit over. He draws for turn. Looks like he's looking at the Griffuse in hand, which is a big deal. If he had a properly enchanted Hermes with 2 on it, but he doesn't. So what is he going to do? Oh, he's going to Hurricane my back row. Let's see. He may have the other Hermes in hand. Yeah, and I don't know what I discarded. It looked like it was a trap card. Probably something that would have dealt with this. Okay, he cast Carry On to crash into my Warmite, which is interesting. And he's looking at 5 spirits right now, I think. He still has no back row, so we are deciding what to play next, and we're getting close to the end of this game here. Looks like I decided to go for another Kite Mite. I'm debating it here if I really want to play it or not, at what position. We go Kite Mite to disenchant, and we're going to cast a Warmite. Just a regular Warmite and swing for 1. And that's kind of the thing about the Spiders deck, is it's just meant to keep playing down dudes one by one, and just slowly whittle away your guys. Not even so much slowly, but consistently. Just because you throw down a spider, your guy's dead. You kill the spider, that's fine, I have another one, your guy's dead. And that is what's fun about the deck. What sucks is when they turbo into a 3-cost, like, almost immediately, and there's not a whole lot you can do about that, and that's just kind of how it is. And it's no fault of the game or anything, it's just, I think the Spider deck, unless you play it, half spiders, half generic good guys, I don't think you're going to get, like, a full spider deck that is completely competent yet. Maybe you could, and maybe it just hasn't been presented yet. But from my understanding and my testing, I haven't been able to make a spider deck that can do extremely well. It's more annoying than it is, like, incredible. I throw down the Paracne over top of the Warmite, which is sweet. We're going to get in for a nice 2 damage, and he's deciding what spirits to get rid of. There goes another -6 spirits. He's got, looks like 2 Griffews now, but he cannot do the Hermes ability. He's also short on spirits and has no Hermes in hand, I don't believe. But he's throwing down the Carrion to stall and hope he sees the right card next turn. I draw for turn, and it looks like... I'm assuming I'm going to play another guy, hit over the Carrion, and then hit for 2. I have a ton... It looks like I have a decent amount of spirits left. We're expending the draw. Interesting. There's no back row, so I know I'm safe for a turn, and if he outs the Paracne, that's fine, because he's not much investment to begin with. He is going to hit the Laurels, which gets rid of the spider very easily, because I had exactly 2 more spirits than him. He's going to expend the draw, which leaves me for a nice opening. He's at 1 spirit. I just need a single guy to hit over, and that is game, because there is no back row, and he has 1 spirit to cast anyways. Looks like I'm going for an Ambrosia. I think at this point I was just enjoying my win, because I'm pretty sure I had a guy anyways. Yeah, we're just playing the Ambrosias for shits and giggles. He's wondering what he's wondering what I'm doing here. Oh, we had all 3 Ambrosias. This is just a spirit flex. I have no idea how many I had. It looks like I only have a few in the underworld. And then we're just going to cast any single dude. Rabbit, Misenchanted for game. And that was it. And yeah, so the deck did well here. I don't know if it really... it kind of showed off its strong suits, just being able to slap down the spiders. The Peagleams never came into the game. The Hestias never came into the game. The Flacnies never came into the game. Just things like that. If I would have drawn those instead, I don't know if I would have done as well. But yeah, that is the spider deck. I'm done talking about spiders. I'm hoping I find my deck at some point, because I would like those reverse stellars again. I don't know what happened to it. I'm just going to move on. I didn't lose any serialized, so I don't want to cry too much. But I'll get those cards back eventually, even if I never find the deck, because I've been enjoying Firestorm a lot. So, if you enjoyed me freaking my mind out about spiders at all, leave a like, subscribe, let me know what you thought about the deck, how I could change it. Not that I'm going to build it again, because I don't have the cards anymore. I could build it a little less pretty, but I could. If someone comes up with some crazy cool idea, I'll give it a try and make a new video on it. Also, shout out to Log, an actual log for the thumbnail. I had it commissioned, and it looks beautiful. It's exactly what I wanted. Just some spiders kind of going nuts. So yeah, if you liked any of this, let me know. And have a good one. And bye, and all that. And don't play spiders. Or do. If you can like make it work really well, then play spiders. Okay, bye.